everyone was included. Straight, gay, bi, trans.
Threw different ingredients in the blender. I just kind of ended up with an R&B smoothie.
Movie theaters are reopening, art galleries are reopening, and this is the Rise Report. Congratulations to Tiffany Gaines on curating her first major exhibit at the Burchfield Penney Art Center. Making Strange runs through May 16th, and Lisa Carr's Shelter runs through June 27th.
So Making Strange is a contemporary exhibition that explores the distortion of objects, places, and bodies, weaving in constructed and anecdotal narratives. So the installation that we have here is titled Goodbye World by Jason Livingston and Jason Geistwhite. And these 4 polar bear heads are pulling live climate data from 4 major cities. And as the climate rises above the 30-year average for these cities, we see the polar bear eyes glowing at varying degrees of red. We also have 2 films by Annette Daniels-Taylor, and both of these films are poetic tributes to the East Side community of Buffalo.
How do you do? My name is Lisa Carrer. I'm the exhibiting artist at Burchfield Penney in the project room. My installation is called Shelter, and it's based on the series of steps that refugees have to go through when they find they're displaced. A lot of my work has to do with non-linear narrative. How do you tell a story, but it's not going from A to B? And it's up to the person in the room to figure out which parts of the story they want to grab onto.
Meet Kevin Spears, the 21-year-old musician behind the music taking over our brains.
This is Tony Boy with the Rise Collaborative. I'm checking in with my boy Kevin Spears today.
How's it going?
We're gonna take a walk through downtown and ask a couple questions about how you got into R&B. Man, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
How did you get into R&B?
I think it was a very a natural outcome. I like to think I'm just kind of the product of all the music I've listened to in my life, so that's definitely a lot of R&B. But I started out, trying to emulate all my favorite artists, and I never really stuck to one sound. I was kind of genre agnostic, as some people like to say. So as I just threw different ingredients in the blender, I just kind of ended up with an R&B smoothie. I went to FL Studio when I was maybe 14,
right?
As a lot of young people do, and just kind of fell in love. Learned how to produce more. I took my hip-hop influences and being in the scene or having friends that wrote that type of music and contributed it to my musicality.
So you just said your musicality, and I think that's one of the things that makes you stand out, at least to me. You play a few instruments, if I'm correct.
I do, yeah. I try.
Are you school trained? Is that something you just picked up yourself?
I took some piano lessons when I was younger. I didn't take it too seriously. So that's the only formal training I've ever had. Everything else was either YouTube or just messing around until it sounded decent.
YouTube University.
Yeah, YouTube University. If you want to get into anything, astrophysics, go to YouTube, I'm telling you. You don't got to pay for anything.
YouTube, man.
It's all there.
I love this place, Billy Idol once screamed in 1983 while on stage at the Continental. Rise Apparel is back. Our latest t-shirt commemorates the legendary punk rock and dance venue on Franklin Street. Sales of the shirt will benefit the Family Meal Hospitality Trust, assisting bar and wait staff with their needs as COVID continues to devastate their industry. Hear more about the venue that welcomed absolutely everyone before closing in 2005.
Come on, drink them. Okay. Try and keep the break down like about 20, 25 minutes so we don't...
Well, starting when?
Starting from the time...
So tell me what time exactly we go on.
According to the clock out there, you got off at 2:22, so add 20 minutes, like about 2:42.
Hi, I'm Bud Redding, and I used to work across the street here when it was the Continental. It was a two-level bar. Downstairs was a stage with live music every night. Upstairs was DJs and a huge dance floor.
If you chose the party route, part of your admission was you got the right to slap a guy who was wearing assless chaps, kind of in the prone position. You got to slap him on the ass before you went up to the party.
The very first song I heard when I got upstairs was New Order, Temptation, and I was blown away. The hook in that song. Everybody in the upstairs, when they came to the part where they're doing the ooh, ooh, everybody in the whole room was doing that, and I was just like blown away.
We brought Lance Diamond to perform there with us for the first time, my friend Lance, and at the time I was probably 20, he was probably 50, and I thought he was ancient. Lance just jumped up there and just slayed this place, man.
I cannot say. One of the best things about the Continental was that everyone was included. There were blacks, whites, Hispanics, Native Americans. They're still friends of mine to this day. Straight, gay, bi, trans.
It was like the combat zone in Buffalo. It was like prostitutes outside.
Plus, a lot of bikers used to come in there.
It was a place that anybody could go to. I think a lot of people were afraid to go to it because they saw people with like mohawks or that looked different. But if they actually would venture into it, anybody could come in.
Every video you've seen today was just a teaser, so check out the full versions on Rise's YouTube. Thanks again to Buffalo Local for sponsoring this week's episode. You can support local by drinking local. Beer brewed right here in Buffalo.
2:45, 2:45.
Okay. Side of a half minute though.
Eastern Standard Time. Sounded good.
Thank you.
I got the smoke alarm off just as your fog was coming on.
Yeah, well,
Did you hear that?
It's not really bubbling.